Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes, to renting versus selling, and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live. 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Every week we talk about something that will help you make some money, save some money, teaches you something that might keep you from having a faux pas, making a mistake that will cost you a lot of money. So today we're here with Tony DeFalco with GPS Closing Service, closing.com. I'm so bad. And we're going to talk about attorney-run title companies and the benefits of those and what makes GPS the best.
That's awesome.
So tell us a little bit about
So Laura, thank
company.
you for having me on your show. And Laura is the best real estate agent. I've known Laura for a few years now, and she's remarkable. So the difference between GPS closings, I was in the real estate business with Laura, and when I created the title business, I decided that the title business was not being ran through the real estate agent's eyes. The title companies thought that it was a paperwork business, get to the closing, no matter what happens, it's okay. Where communication is everything. Without communication, the real estate agent looks really bad to their customer. So we look at it through the real estate agent's eyes, we over-communicate with the customer, we also save them a lot of money.
Well, how do you save them a lot of money?
Well, in the title business, there's different ways of making money, and we sharpen our pencil and save money because if our real estate agent partners are saving their customers money, they're able to get more referrals.
Right. So how would a real estate agent go about presenting this to a client that they are to pick your company over the millions of other companies? And, realtors have lots of people that they do work with. What would be the key words for a realtor to use when courting a client to use your services?
That's a great question. So first off, having an attorney on staff that's there able to answer minor questions, minor paperwork, shorter litigation, free of charge, is a huge benefit. A lot of people coming from New York and New Jersey believe they have to pay an attorney. We cover that cost through the title company. In addition, our title processors, we pay very highly, so the service is better than up to par. And then the fees, Laura, if you go and get a title quote from a different title company, we will match or beat those fees and give superior service every single time.
So why don't you give us some kind of an example of something that you feel made your company stand out from another company?
It's funny. The attorney is very important, but the attorneys need it once in a while. Once in a while you'll talk to the attorney, but the title processor you're on the phone with all the time is the real estate agent. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
So the title processors, I decided I was going to hire the best, and the only way to hire the best in South Florida is to pay them very well because title processors are needed. They are very much in demand, so we overpaid the processors to get the best service so we get more referrals from the real estate agents, more repeat business.
Okay. When it comes down, since you're one of the owners of the company, but you're also you do run the hat of realtor as well.
Yes.
So how much do you really know and how much involved are you in the process with this company?
That's a great question. On the closing of the title deals, very, very little. Now, I review all the documents, all the fees, make sure that we are competitive, things of that nature. But for the real estate customer and the real estate agent, being a real estate broker for 20 years in the business, I know the ins and outs of getting real estate transactions done. So when there's the OSMs, the oh shoot moments, I am super qualified to get through those, which has really helped our title company compared to others.
So basically helping the title company to see through the eyes and respond to situations through a realtor's eyes.
Absolutely. And as a real estate agent, if you have less stresses, what does that do for your life?
It makes it easier. I mean, the less that I have to do, but some days you just can't get past all the stress of the deal. Sometimes you get stuck in the minutia.
Absolutely.
And kind of funny, and I don't know how you look at this, but I'll tell you quick scenario. I had a buyer that was buying a property in Broward, and I sent the contract off to the agent, and the agent doesn't know how to utilize like online signatures, right? But yet she says, okay, the buyer's son has the contract. The contract was written, and oh, by the way, the seller wanted a three-way call with me.
Okay.
So it's me, the realtor, and the seller, and the seller says, okay, I'll do this, right? And my buyer had given me permission to go up to a certain amount.
Okay.
And when we finally came to an agreement, he's like, all right, but today's the only day. He's like, today's the only day. And he says, I used to be a used car salesman, just like you realtors.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, today's the only day. So I rushed, got the contract written, sent it to her. So that date was the 13th, right? Fast forward to the 20th, I still didn't have the contract. And the realtor says, my broker said that because we verbally agreed on the 13th, that's going to be that's agreed upon time of acceptance. And I'm like, first of all,
wow.
What is the number one thing we don't have in real estate in the state of Florida?
Verbal contracts.
Verbal agreements,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
We don't have, I mean, listen, we did not rehearse this,
Yeah.
but clearly
Yeah.
that just showed you without even rehearsing
Yeah.
this, like you knew exactly where I was going with that. We don't have verbal agreements. Number two, the main reason why in Florida we use attorneys is because what can realtors not do with the contract?
Adjust the contract, make changes.
We can make changes. We can't
fill in the blank.
We can fill in the blanks.
Can't add to it.
But we can't interpret the contract.
As well. Yeah.
So her broker told her that because we verbally agreed on the 13th, that would be acceptable. Number one, we don't do verbal. And number two, that's interpreting the contract.
Absolutely.
So I feel like, you know, there's all different kinds of title companies. And so some people say, you know, that, oh, I run a title company, but I'm not attorney run. And so.
Yeah. Well, we have Ryan Floyd on staff. Ryan is our partner. He's
Right.
involved in everything. So that's a phone call away. But you know what's really funny? In that contract, how many days did you have for inspection?
Funny, so exactly.
Less than
And
7?
I try to explain that. So here's the funny part. The realtor is about 89 years old. And she's been doing this forever.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? So it's like, if that was the time of acceptance, but the last signature on the contract was the 20th, it becomes very unclear. And honestly, they can go back and get out of the contract because that date was not corrected. Now, I had told her, listen, cross that out, initial that, and put whatever date you're going to get it to me, give me back another day so I can get my client to countersign and get it back to you. I go, unless you're going to get it to me in the morning, I'll get it back to you the same day.
Yep.
You know, but if you're going to send it to me at 5, 6 o'clock at night, like, and I'm off showing property,
Yeah.
I can't guarantee if I get home at 9, 10 o'clock at night from showing that my client's going to be up waiting for that signature.
Absolutely.
I am Wonder Woman, but I am not telepathic Wonder Woman. Like, I can't get things done while I'm driving.
Exactly. So attorney owned, I can understand how somebody that would almost give a false sense of security. We have an attorney on staff that we pay extremely well.
Yeah.
And Ryan is available at all times. So we have the attorney there, and attorney owned. The difference with attorney owned and real estate agent owned is attorney owned believes in paperwork. Real estate agent owned believes in customer service, taking care
Yeah, but you've got both.
We have both.
Right.
Taking care of the customer at a high level, so the repeat business is there. Laura, in 2021, you're the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida, which is absolutely amazing. I met you. I got your card. We did a show.
You didn't believe me.
I did believe you.
You looked me up.
I said, wow, that's amazing. And a lot of that comes from repeat business as well. And one thing we can brag about, GPS closings in the state of Florida with Old Republic, the largest underwriter. We're the fastest growing in the state of Florida. And I'd love to say it's because of Ben Bell, my business partner, or myself or Ryan, but it's really Brooke Fox and now Melanie, our second processor we hired.
So you're growing.
Yeah, Brooke has not had one person since March of 2023 when she started, or 22 when she started with us, to come and use us and not come back a second time.
Well, that's great. Hold that thought.
Okay.
We're going to go to commercial break. We're going to check out some of our amazing sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about GPS Title and what they can do for you, and talk a little bit about title because it's confusing. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Whether you're buying, selling, refinancing, or building your dream home, you have a lot riding on your loan specialist. Max Fish, a top 1% mortgage loan officer in the nation, will give you a same-day qualifying quote. Max Fish is committed to providing his customers with mortgage services that exceed their expectations. Ensuring that you make the right choice for you and your family is his ultimate goal. Contact Max Fish today at 954-729-6933 or max.fisch@nwmcorp.net.
At JK Closing Attorneys, we do all of the same things that a title company does, but with the benefits of being a law office. We can help with residential real estate, short sales, commercial real estate, refinances, 1031 exchanges, and FRIPTA withholding.
Contact JK Closing Attorneys today at 954-332-3111. Again, that is 954-332-3111.
You have been watching Making Money with Laura. For more information, contact Laura Sanders at 954-650-0827 or visit her website at lauraess.com. And now back to the show.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. So we're here talking with Tony DeFalco regarding GPS title services, how they're different than everyone else. Also, just remember, I am your local realtor, and I'm looking to help serve you. I am looking to help you to get your home looking like it's $1 million and get you $1.5 million. So, also, just letting you know, just found out that year to date, I am number 19 in the United States for RE/MAX agent and number 59 in the world. So if you want somebody that's going to get the job done, even if you don't like me, that's okay. You don't have to like me. You just like your money. So welcome back, Tony.
Thank you.
Sorry, I try to be a little funny.
No, you're very funny.
You don't have to like me, though. You just have to like your money.
That's true.
I mean, it's all about negotiating, right?
So you make a house look like $1 million, but you get $1.5 million. It's amazing.
What's the one thing when you meet with a seller you tell people is that when somebody walks in, they fall in love with the feeling. Absolutely. It's the feeling of the home that drags them in. You know right away if you love something.
Absolutely.
But if your house needs a lot of work, there's only a few buyers that want to go in and gut it and make them their own.
Absolutely.
And sellers want the most money for their home no matter if it's in good condition or it's not. So lately, I've had clients spend anywhere from like 5 to like 25, 30. And I've had clients, one lady spent $18,000. She basically made $62,000. So she made 80 from what I told her she would sell for, but she had to spend 18. So she got 62.
Absolutely.
Okay. So to me, it's like, who doesn't watch Flip or Flop or all these HGT TVs, right?
Yep.
So when you see the HGTV, you're like, everybody's like, oh, I want to make money. I want to flip. So why not flip your own house?
It's absolutely
when people say, well, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to do it. First of all, I have people that will help you that they're going to show up and they're not going to steal your money.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's the biggest part, right?
Yep.
Then I'm a designer. I come in and I design it for you. And I know what people are looking for. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. You're not staying. You're going.
Yep.
Now, once in a while, to have to like negotiate with somebody and say, well, what if it doesn't sell? Well, it's going to sell. But okay, if it doesn't, you want it to look like what you want. So let's compromise together to still make it something that you want. But listen, we just can't paint your room teal. Like, it's just not,
exactly.
You know. So you want people to come in and say, this is amazing. I love this.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, Laura, you're 100% correct on that. When people are buying, if they're buying logically, they're paying a logical price.
Right, but when you're paying in love, yeah.
When you fall in love and you're paying emotionally.
Yeah. You've been divorced, Tony. You know what I'm talking about.
A lot of us guys have got in trouble with the emotions.
Yeah.
Paid way more than we should have.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. I mean, but that's the thing. Like,
is that like Botox to a house?
No, because Botox wears off.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Thank God. I'm allergic to it. Swelled my tongue up.
Did it really?
3 months. 3 months.
That's a good
I was
lesson.
like swollen tongue or no wrinkles.
Absolutely.
I'll take the I was like, I got to make a choice. I'm like, I guess I'll take the wrinkles. I don't know.
No wrinkles and not being able to speak.
It hurt. It was a lot of Oro gel. I'm not going to lie.
That is a man's dream.
Not being able to speak. Thank you. I did have, what was it, where you can't talk? It was like went on for like 10 days. My husband was like, this is the best I've ever, this is the best. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, you guys all like love bomb us. And then it's like, what? So yeah, I could say tonight, my husband, he doesn't listen anymore. He used to listen all the time. But, you know, I went in for surgery 2 weeks ago and they said to me, oh, do you want to have your mom and dad come in now? And I was like, that's my husband.
That's...
Should get him some Botox, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I would never say that right now.
I'm only joking. Like, you know,
So
what can I
Laura,
say? I like older men.
As a top producer, with not just title, but mortgage and insurance and all the other vendors, as a top producing real estate agent, what is it that's most important to you when working with a vendor?
So that's a really, really good question, and I'll tell you, because like, you know, a lot of people, like, they'll refer out like a handyman, and they'll get a spiff, a kickback,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
I'm like, I don't want anything from you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want anything from you. I want you to show up. I want you to give my customer the best price.
Best service.
And I want it done.
Yep.
So when people do offer me spiffs, I'm like, you know, hey, that's great. But, you know, also I do want them to support me back. So that's a little hard, right? Title companies can't really like give back to a realtor and refer them out. Moving companies, you know,
Exactly.
like for instance, like a moving company, and I'm really haven't been good about referring a moving company.
Hard one to refer sometimes.
Yeah, because, you know, you're always getting screamed at. But, you know, for me, like giving me boxes to give to my clients, right?
Exactly.
And I actually get rolls of tape, and then I put it and I drop it off at their house when they getting their appraisal done so that they can start to pack.
Yep.
And, you know, another thing that I offer is like free shredding.
Yeah, something of value.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm trying to make sure that my customers are like feeling like I didn't just list it and then I left.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's funny though. So I've used TCs, which are transaction coordinators, which a lot of realtors don't use them, but some do. And I know you guys, title companies, are starting to offer that service to the agents, which agents, that's, you know, definitely a great service to get offered to you to make the transaction easier. And it's not really giving anything money back to an agent, but it's creating less work for the
It's
agent.
giving value to the owner as well, because if
It is,
things
because
are
you're making
done-
sure, like, I can't tell you, like, years ago, when I went to have my baby, and I asked my broker to watch over a deal for me. And when I came back, the deal was falling apart. And I'd given him like all the things that were, you know, had to happen, and there was no deposit inside escrow.
Wow.
It was like, dude, the day I was giving birth.
Yeah, it wasn't delivered.
It was not delivered. So guess what? When you're like fighting with the buyer for non-performance, kind of hard to fight with anybody when you don't have any money in the account,
doubt.
right?
Wow.
So, you know, lessons learned. So it's funny though, like I was using one TC, right? And she was really good, and she was interacting with the customers so much that they were thinking like that I disappeared. I'm like, who do you think's telling her what to do? Like, there'd be emails from me like, hey, on this file, I need you to do this, 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 and this, right? And then they would go do it, because it's not one call when the open permit for the AC is there.
Yep.
It's not, first it's like, okay, who is the permit, like who's the AC company, right?
Yep.
Now you got to call them. Now they've gone out of business. So now you got to do change of contractor, right? That's going to cost money. So people, another thing is make sure your permits are closed after you get work done. Don't pay the contractor till you know.
What a great point. Yeah.
You know, people don't check, and I mean, people don't know. They don't realize. They're like, oh, they come at the very end and they go, okay, I finished the job, pay me. Where's the closed permit?
Yeah, at the 11th hour, when those permits are not closed, it's an urgency.
Yeah.
So in any business, great systems create less urgency. So as a consumer, Laura's 100% right. Before you pay them, make sure they're closed out and they complete not only the physical job, but the job of closing out the permit. What a great
And also
point.
because it's a crazy story, right? The other day I ran into a realtor, and this has happened to me twice in deals that I have sold, right? Realtor says to me, have you ever heard, this is what he says to me, have you ever heard of from when a house was built in 1999 that the permit for the pool was still open.
Absolutely.
It wasn't closed from the builder.
Yep.
Now the buyer bought it, another buyer bought it.
Yep.
Like, how does this stuff slip through? This is
Yep.
big time stuff. Usually that second time the home was sold was 2005.
Yep.
Where a lot of these title companies, they're gone.
Yep.
They've gone out of business. But another thing people don't know, and this isn't in every city, but I know for sure in several cities, you cannot pull an owner's permit prior to closing.
Exactly.
You have to wait 1 year from the time that that permit's been pulled, which that's so stupid,
Yep.
right? Till you close it. So like on one of them that was, the contractors wanted to bring it up to today's code. Pools are different
No,
from,
they
from,
weren't.
from, yeah. And by the way, we're kind of running low on time, so we've got 4 minutes. So what
Okay,
we're gonna
no
do
problem.
is, so anyway, long story short, check your permits. So
Absolutely.
Tony, what is the best way? Like, do they reach out to you? Do they reach out? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're working with Laura, Laura can reach out to us 100%. If not, my telephone number is right here on the screen, 561-352-6759.
Remember,
Now,
we're also on the radio, so.
we're on the radio as well. So 561-352-6759. If you mention the Laura Sanders Show, we will knock $500 off of the title processing fee, all because of Laura. Laura is a phenomenal real estate agent, and working with Laura makes everything so much easier. It really does. There's a lot of great real estate agents out there, and guys, learn from the people who are executing at the highest level if you're in the real estate business. Buyers and sellers, make sure you're working with someone that has great systems, that understands to make the property more beautiful. Spend $10 to make $50 back. It's a
Makes
great
sense.
investment, and that paint or those baseboards can go a long way. Even if it's in a market where you don't get a whole lot more money, but the property gets sold a whole lot faster.
So much faster.
And if the market ever does go down, you sold it before that ever happened. Not saying that's going to happen. So, Laura, I really appreciate you having me on.
Yes, thank you for
and,
coming. I look forward to
appreciate
having you
working with
again.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Tony, for coming. And again, if you're looking for a top agent and you want to get your home sold for more money than you would get with another agent, I'm your girl, Laura Sanders, RE/MAX Direct, 954-650-0827. And you can go to my website at laurassell.com. Till next week, can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust.